It's a great day to talk hockey with Grant McCagg on HabsCast.
I don't get it. How can they keep losing to a Czech team with, 16 Canadian junior hockey players, but Adam Tittleback and him with 7 goals and 13 assists, 20 points in the Western Hockey League? Like, how come in these big games now, all of a sudden these guys are effing stars, and then what? Second overall picks in the draft, playing in the NHL, can't play with them, can't outplay them. Instead, they put their hands on pucks in the last minute on a game on the line. Oh, I think after the faceoff, I'll put my hand on the puck and throw it. Or then, oh well, I won't check this guy in front of the net. Or then Perek, one of the 3 players of the tournament for Canada. No Michael Hage, by the way. Oh, let's give it to Sam O'Reilly. Who the hell picked the 3 players? Did they pick a guy up off the street? Say, yeah, get in here. You picked the 3 players for Canada. Oh, well, Sam O'Reilly, that's a good Irish name. Yeah, like, give me a effing break. Michael Hage was the best player in Canada, but like, wasn't even close. All tournament long. Points in every game. 3 posts today. Friggin' breakaway. Absolutely amazing again. 2 more points tonight. Tied for the friggin' tournament lead in points. And he's not one of Canada's 3 players of the game. Oh, we'll give it to Ginla. And we'll give it to O'Reilly and Perek, who, game on the line, the guy coming down and I won't try hard to stop him. Yeah, good luck in the NHL with that attitude. Holy frig. Zane Perek was nice, nice. He got lots of points, but man, oh man, that defense could have used Bryce Pickford, couldn't they? You think? Freaking Ethan McKenzie. What the hell kind of a pass was that? And then he tries to keep it in at the line and then falls down, and then they almost score again. Like, take it out of your, doesn't have to stay in the zone. Freaking take it back out. Go back in. No wonder they used 4 defense pairings, because they freaking none of them were good. Ben Danford, anyway, I'm being hard on a bunch of kids, and I shouldn't be, but it's just frustrating. Get outworked and outplayed by a bunch of freaking mediocre CHL players that all of a sudden, when they get together, they friggin' world beaters against Canada. Like, what happened with the friggin' hard checking friggin' compete? They get outworked every time now by the Czechs. It's frustrating. 3 straight years losing. A team with no friggin' first round picks, and Canada is loaded with them. I'm getting tired of it. Anyway, frustrating to lose to the frickin' Czechs again. They outwork them every time now. Remember the days when it was the opposite all the time? Not anymore. Benak. I love Adam Benak, by the way. He absolutely just had a fantastic game tonight. He was that pass he made, you get through, and the one where Misa, puck watching. Great pass by him, and the goal he scored. And he's he was he's only 5'8", but I think that kid, just like Denver Barkey, he's going to play in the NHL someday. Anyway, just I shouldn't be criticizing a bunch of kids. I know. I mean, I won't get into it on social media too much. It's just frustrating to see them 3 straight years now. Like, freak, tell me that they couldn't have used Bryce Pickford out there tonight. You know, you go with two 17-year-olds, and I mean they're going to be good defensemen, but you can't convince me that Danford and friggin' McKenzie and Verhoff and well, all of them, like none of them played well. None of the defensemen played well tonight. None. And it's what against Adam Tittleback and 20-point player, 5'7" player in the WHL. Like really? You think Bryce Pickford can't friggin' compete against those? Adam Tittleback? Oh man, oh man. It's frustrating. Anyway, got that out of my system. Um, uh, just to add insult to injury, Michael Hage doesn't get it. One of the three players of the tournament for Canada, like just to top it all off, right? Oh no, the best player by far? No, you're not one of the three best. The best player in the frickin' tournament, and he's not one of the three best on Canada. Wild, unbelievable. Hage was fantastic again tonight. He friggin' man, 3 posts. Like the Hages are finding their postman tomorrow, folks. You know, this game brought to you by Canada Post. Whatever, like just poor kid, man. He'll be having nightmares about that one. And then 2 penalty shots. He gets to take. Although I wouldn't have done the exact same move again. Like might have wanted to maybe shoot the puck that time, Michael. I'm having a drink. You can maybe tell that I get a little passionate about Canada. Well, anyway, losing Brady Martin did not help. And again, I love Dale Hunter to death, but you're dressing 8 friggin' defensemen and only 12 forwards. You go with 7 defensemen and pick the 6 best. If you weren't happy with 6 being the best, then maybe you should have had Bryce Pickford there, the best friggin' defenseman in junior hockey. Think that might have helped. You have to go with 4 pairings because none of the pairings were playing well. Reed, I don't know how many times he got burned in this tournament. Like I saw the back of his sweater, I don't know how many times on goals against, where he was friggin' up the ice there. And Danford on that second last, I don't know what he was doing when they broke right through. And Denwye had to friggin', well, of course, Aitchison pinched as usual. And Danford's just sitting over there and let the guy burst right through. Denwye had to try to stop him. And then the turnovers by the defensemen just over and over and over. That was not a good defense group that the Canadians had, and it ended up costing them basically. Ivan Kovac kept them in it. 6 goals against on a Czech team with no high draft picks. It's unacceptable, but it happened. Feel bad for the kids. Here I am criticizing them, and I suppose I shouldn't be, but getting it out of my system now. I'm not going to say anything on social media that's there for posterity, but anyway, I guess it's here for posterity, but there won't be tens of thousands of people watching this, I don't suppose, so I can be a little more critical, but anyway, that's I realize they're just kids, and hey, gotta learn from their mistakes, right? They're not going to be they tried their damnedest. Took some bad penalties. McKenna shouldn't have. At that point in the game, you just can't cross-check a kid in front of the net. And then Reshny, I'm sorry, but he wasn't hit very hard, and he hit the goalie pretty tough. I know it's tough, and you don't want to get that friggin' penalty, but I don't blame the ref for that call. I just don't. Anyway, yeah. What do I think of the goalie interference call? He plowed into him pretty hard. I know we can be a little bit another beer or two, hate the loss, let's breathe, frustrated as well. Yeah, I'm not. Look, um, I don't like to get too critical of the kids, and I mean, they didn't show up. They were kids, right? They made some bad decisions, turned over the pucks too often, took some bad penalties. I'm not going to blame the refs. I mean, these international games are never greatly officiated, but McKenna deserved the 2 minutes. I thought Reshny, the goalie interference, I'm sorry, but he was not hit that hard, and then he hit the goalie pretty hard. And I mean, they were calling it all friggin' game, so they weren't gonna not call it at that point. Yeah, critical point of the game, but they just kept doing what they always do. And frig Misa, it's too bad that he put his hand on the puck there, man. That just you know, I guess it's just instinct, but and he must have felt bad too. I know the kids got to feel bad. I feel the thing I'm most pissed off about is Michael Hage not getting one of the players of the tournament, because man, like you know, he needed a bit of a consolation prize of some for his effort tonight. Man, he was really good. And anyway, yeah, I'm a little calmed down now. Gonna need another drink of beer here. Man, oh man, oh man. Just they should lose to friggin' Czechia. It's you can't blame any one friggin' player. You know, it was a team. It was a team effort. Lots of mistakes. Junior hockey, man, it's the best. It's so. And the other, I mean, that other game was epic. The friggin' I don't know if you watched the other game, but wow. The Finns came back, played their hearts out. The stupid shootout. I mean, go 20 minutes, man, in overtime. Why have a shootout in a semifinal? It's not fair. It really isn't, to go to a shootout. I mean, there's enough time between games to go 7 rounds in a shootout. They could have played another 10 minutes overtime, and it wouldn't have taken any longer a time. And somebody scores in 20 minutes 3-on-3. I mean, it just almost impossible for somebody to score, you know. So I wish to hell that they just eliminate that shootout altogether to decide a game that gets you to the final. I don't know if I even want to look at the comments here. There's probably going to be some people weighing in on you know, criticizing the kids. I know. You know, I guess you can't blame any one person, that's for sure. It's just a collective effort where getting outworked by the Czechs every year, and I don't know what the solution is. Not used to seeing this, you know. It's disappointing. It really is. Anyway, I'm not going to stay on here too long. It's tough. Yeah, Sheldon's not going to criticize the kids. Yeah, well, I shouldn't. I shan't anymore. But McKenzie with the turnover on the third goal. Where's Pickford? I know. It's exactly what I was thinking. The GM's pet and the coach's pet, O'Reilly, who lost that face-off at the end of the period, and then his coach. This is why I don't like coaches in the OHL or in the CHL that coached the team. Just like the year I didn't like Adam Lowry or Dave Lowry coaching, and Joe Hickett's played 45 minutes, 5-6 defensemen that killed penalties and the whole works, and they ended up 6th at the tournament because he's on his club team. And when they needed a replacement for Brady Martin, they put O'Reilly up in, put O'Reilly up on that line for a while on the power play, actually. And I'm like, what the hell? You've got Hage and all these guys out there, Hage and McKenna and, blah, blah, blah. And you put in O'Reilly to replace Martin. I mean, jeez, he's not an offensive player. He's a fine two-way center, but what are you doing putting him on that friggin' power play to replace Martin? Because coach, because he plays for the coach's team. We're going to see the same with John Cooper in the Olympics. Here's it's going to play all his guys. You can take it to the bank. But and then Dad, insult to injury. Personally, because I mean, everything that Michael Hage has been through, and the tournament he had, and the 3 posts and everything tonight, and then just to add insult to injury, they say, well, no, Sam O'Reilly, the coach's pet, gets the, he gets a player of the game, and not you, Mike. Go home. Anyway, it's disappointing, and we'll just put it at that. I don't know if I want to read too many comments here. This might be a short one. I appreciate the donation, Don, and yeah. They deserve the criticisms. Well, hey, just right after, eh? I'm always calmer the next day. Canada leaving best offensive players for a tournament. Yeah, I know. I'm always like, is it me, or also not put Cam Reed and Zane Perek together? No, I know. They weren't good together all. They weren't good together all freaking all tournament, and it didn't break them up. Like, they just got burned and burned and burned, and then okay, so they go offense with Zane Perek, tied for the tournament lead with Michael Hage, and but they paid no attention to how poorly he played defensively, or the no effort on the friggin' on the goal that sunk him, ultimately, the empty netter. But then Hage, who ties for the tournament lead, well, no, we'll go a defensive forward instead for that, right? And Hage played great defensively. I thought he was all round. He was superb, all tournament long. Anyway, Hage Unreal was a star in every game and never given any credit, not even one of 3 stars. Must be blackball committee or brain dead selecting. Well, there you go. Czechs are proving it's a team game, not just an individual. And yeah, Martoon showed zero captain worth attitude. Well, he scored a big goal tonight. His cocky attitude came back like karma. Yeah, I guess. A team led by Porter Martone. I don't know. I wouldn't have put the C on him, but he's a pretty good kid. You know, I liked him in interviews and stuff. Certainly not a I think were they not voted on by the players? He's pretty popular in that room. So at the end of the day, he scored a big goal today. Should have got them going, and they didn't. They didn't build off of it, and that's too bad. Fort George, hey, $10, thank you. The defensive game wasn't there. Let's go get the bronze. Hey, there you go. Here, Grant, since you're working hard despite the deception. Yeah, the dejection. Thanks, Francois. Yeah, it's been a long day. Ups and downs, right? At least the Habs won today. Thank you guys for cheering me up a little bit here. I take these to heart. I schedule a stream. Yeah. Well, I put a time on it, and then they delayed it 10 minutes to start, right? And I needed to see who the 3 players of the game were after. Like, I can't. Nobody else comes on 5 minutes after the end of a game start. You got to prepare a bit there, my friend. I didn't forget there was a stream. I just you put a time, and then everything gets delayed. Canada forgot how to play defense. Yeah, he's destroying his house out of rage. There you go. Something like that. I can't see an NHL head scout drafting McKenna first over Hedberg or Stenberg. Why? Based on a couple of games at the World Juniors? I don't know. Not sure about that. I wouldn't overreact to that. But they got to be close. I like them both. I don't think it's certainly up in the air at this point. Czechs could have scored 10 tonight. The defense struggled. Alternate. Yeah. Well, the best defenseman in junior hockey was available, but they didn't. They decided that they didn't need him. Blame the same old vegetative people who are always using the same playbook. Well, I don't know. Dale Hunter is a pretty damn good junior coach. I just, there were a few things like, as usual, you got to play the guy that's on your team, and he ends up getting a player of the one of the 3. Sam O'Reilly was fine, but he wasn't one of the 3 best players on Canada. And Michael Hage, I mean, I don't think it was even close. And Michael Johnson kept saying it all tournament. Mike Johnson, been Canada's best player. And then he was again tonight. Like, he never got a player of the game, and he probably deserved 3. And tonight, again, he was the best player, and he didn't get player of the game, and he didn't end up being one of the 3. And he's tied for the tournament lead in scoring. I don't know how many scoring chances Michael Hage has had in this tournament, but he produced every game. He played solid two ways. He created more scoring chances than anybody by far on Canada in this tournament. His stick handling, like Montreal here, my goodness, you know, um, Hudson, Demidov, Slavkovsky, Caulfield, Jarosky, Hage, Suzuki, all are just so skilled with the puck, all of them. And this team, 3 years from now, I envision the Montreal Canadiens are just, they're going to have the puck some games for like, and on power plays, they're going to have two awesome power plays. They're going to have the puck for like 70% of some games. It just, they already, are arguably one of the three most skilled teams in the league now, I think. But wait till these other guys come. Just I mean, Demi, Hudson and Slav hit their primes. Like the Canadians' future is just so bright, and we got to look at that and look at the positive of that. But also, um, I mean, Canada has a bronze medal game to win tomorrow, right? I share the same opinion. Check out the parents' backgrounds. Most of the players that made the team will tell you everything you need to know. Well, yeah. Team Ontario, follow the money. Oh, I know. Rich kids. I know. It's become a rich kid sport. It has. And I don't think that's necessarily the case in some other countries, right? Certainly not Slovakia. McKenna played like he didn't really care whether Canada won a gold medal or not. Mm. Well, lots of people are complaining. I guess I'm not alone, being a little frustrated. Hage 2 times back to back in the penalty shot makes the same move. Yeah. No, I know he shouldn't have made the same move twice there. I didn't think. He needs to practice with Hudson and Demidov this summer. Yeah. Or liability every year lose because I feel we don't have role players that can just shut down. Yeah. Denye in the second period really started going, and I thought, Denye, in my opinion, wasn't given a big enough role in this tournament. I'd have had him in the top 6. I mean, he went higher than Martone in the draft, and there's reasons for that. I saw glimpses of Denye taking over this game, and Dale Hunter went with his OHL guys, right? His Ontario guys. And I really think Canada needs to start hiring a coach that's not coaching junior hockey. Have a guy, have him scout like they did with Andre Tourigny back a few years ago, and then he ended up getting hired by by Arizona. But have a guy that's not affiliated with a specific team, that do it full year for Hockey Canada, be the coach, go to all the leagues and have input. The coach should have input in evaluating who he wants on the team. Not have any ties to a club or any players, and so there's no biases, and just get the best players, play merit wise, play the best players, right? I don't know. You're loaded with talent to choose from, and you don't trust any of your defense, and maybe you picked the wrong ones. Pylons. Danford certainly was not did not impress me a whole heck of a lot in this tournament. I don't know. I didn't have him ranked as a first round pick. Not that I necessarily always right on these guys, but I still don't see it. I think he's overrated, and thankfully the Leafs picked him. Hage, only player who showed compete every shift and got no reward. Pretty much, he was really good. He really was. Sheldon, yeah, I can't criticize the kids. They did their best. Well, you'd have a pretty boring podcast then if you just got on and said, "Yeah, can't criticize anybody. Did their best. Good night, everybody." Have to make it a little more entertaining than that. Grant, what did you think of the goalie interference call? Yeah, as I said, I mean there were 3 of them tonight. They were calling it all night, and they called one on the Czechs too, did they not? I didn't think. Put it this way, he went into the goalie a lot harder than he was pushed. That's my opinion. I mean, what a wagon the Canadians are. Players just keep going, injuries and all. Yeah, let's talk about the Canadians. 10 out of 14 points on the road, baby. Not bad, eh? By the way, I didn't think of this earlier today, but Logs End, right? Visit their website, www.logsend.com. These guys take logs, dead heads out of the Ottawa River that are on the bottom of the friggin' of the river, clean them up, cut off the edges. The edges, make great friggin' absolutely the best flooring that you'll find anywhere. It's so well preserved. A lot of these logs are from like the 1900s, back when the logging, they logged on the Ottawa River like crazy. Here's Yvan Cornway. All right, he got his house entirely done with planks with flooring from Logs End, and he absolutely loved it. I talked to Yvan about it actually just before Christmas, and they couldn't have been happier with the well, they got the product and they got it installed, the whole works, and couldn't be happier. A bunch of NHLers have gotten got flooring from these guys. Chris Neal, I talked to Chris Neal about it as well, and he couldn't say more about it. Good things about Logs End, but check out their website. These guys are my main sponsors right now. Reclaimed wide plank flooring. www.logsend.com. Go check out their website. I think you'll be impressed. Yeah, let's get back to some comments here. Stick-to-stick passing from D to forward was sad. Yeah, it was. Perek was brutal defensive. Well, he wasn't great. He's got work to do. He's got work to do away from the puck. That's for sure. You certainly, I see a future power play quarterback, though. He is really good with the puck in the offensive zone. There's no doubt about that. McKenna, I mean, I've seen it for 2 years. Yes, he needs to keep working on his game away from the puck, but that's something you can improve. What you can't teach is that puck skill and vision. He's a dynamic passer, boy. But I'll tell you one thing: Hage is a lot better was a lot better in this tournament. Hage was better than Naginla too. Like, I know I've been talking about O'Reilly, but at least O'Reilly was good. You know, and Naginla was good. I think he was the best player on that line, but the Hage line was a lot better in this tournament, and the main reason for that was Michael Hage. And you know, when I heard them say, "Okay, Parak, yeah, well, okay, leading the tournament in scoring as a defenseman, they're going to give it to him." Oginla, well, all right, wouldn't have been my pick. I'd have picked Martin or, along with Hage, who I thought, okay, well, they're obviously going to give the third one to Hage, and then they said Sam O'Reilly. And again, it may have seemed like I was a little critical with Sammy Boy at the start there. Don't get me wrong, I didn't. Sam O'Reilly was one of the more harder working guys on the Canadian team, and he had a good tournament, but Michael Hage was Canada's best player, and again, that I'm upset about that because this kid has been through a lot, and he's got to be disappointed, and especially tonight with the 3 posts and the 2 the 2 penalty shot opportunities. It's got to be he's got to be disconsolate, and it would have been nice for him to get a little bit of recognition for just how outstanding he was in this tournament. Hage should have been one of Canada's top 3. Yep. Both games were insane today. What a hockey day. Oh. Well, both World Junior games and the Habs game. Lots of good hockey today. Tej over Hage is a joke. Yes, Don, I agree. If Czechia beat us once again, it's not bad luck. They found a crack. No, it's not bad luck. They're outworking them. And that didn't used to be the case, and it's disappointing. Can't blame the refs. Czech's second period was quite sketchy. Oh, yeah. Canada mainly deserved his penalties. I agree. I'm not putting this on the kids were a little undisciplined, the World Juniors I love the World Juniors. Absolutely. I never miss it. It's I look forward to it every year. Fantastic. And I'll watch the bronze medal game and the gold medal game and be, I'm sure, thoroughly entertained. Hage and McKenna leading the tournament in points, not to mention every time they were on the ice, the puck was in the offensive zone. Yet Sam O'Reilly, what a joke. Yeah, well, Sam O'Reilly was one of Canada's better players, but he was not better than Hage. I'm sorry. Here's the scoring leaders. Perek, Chihash, and Hage are tied for the lead. Hage 9 assists. He's been the best playmaker this tournament. He's been dynamite setting up plays. McKenna 10 points. Hey, for a kid that's in his draft year to get 10 points, I know we're highly critical of him. Yeah, he needs to work away from the puck, but that's still pretty impressive. Galvis, hey, he's got to get drafted this year, I got to think. Galvis, I know Craig Button had him on his list last year, and I don't mind Galvis. He's pretty smart. Not the biggest kid. It's funny, I ranked his brother. He's about the same size defenseman, and I always thought he was a bit underrated, but little brother might be even better. He's I was really impressed by him this tournament. Smart, skilled, and just always seemed to step up in the play, make the right plays. Him and Benak were really underappreciated, I think. Loved Benak today. He's a gamer. Trenko, the Slovakian kid, draft eligible. Didn't mind Novotny today, but that big that big Finn, Savanta or whatever, he plays a heavy game, eh? He looks like a really good prospect. Might end up being a top 10 guy. That's one guy that jumped up on my list this tournament. He even was playing in overtime for the Czechs. I was pretty impressed by him. The tournament. Hage would be great for the Habs. Yeah, he's not far away. Like, I don't know if he'll play for them at the end of this year or not. I'm a lot less certain. Like, I didn't think a month or two ago, that he'd be ready, but I'm less sure of that. I wanted to see, and I said at the time, I'll have a better idea after the World Juniors. And now I lean more towards, hey, maybe he does end the season with the Habs. I still think you don't rush the kid. You go the Laval route, but after the tournaments he's had, and if he has a good end to the, I mean, he's second in scoring, tied for second, I believe, still or he was anyways when he left for the World Juniors. He has a good end to the season. Agent will probably play hardball and say, yeah, if you want to sign him, got to burn a year, let him play, end the season with Montreal. Hey, a lot will depend on Doc when he comes back and how he looks. A lot will depend on if the Habs maybe try to pick up a top 6 guy, right? I mean, they're probably going for it this year, so that's not out of the realm of possibility too. If Doc looks good, and or if they pick up another, another player to play with Hage or with Suzuki and Caulfield, then you may not see him with the Habs at the end of the year. But I don't know. Like, he looks better than, there's a lot more creativity in his game than Alex Texier, for instance, right? Probably skates as well as Texier now. Certainly has better puck skills. A lot better playmaker. I don't know. Alex Texier's set on the wing on that line right now. Hage, I don't know if he's, how much weight he's put on or not, but he looked pretty dominant, even in today's game, going up against a pretty big team. And I'm less, it's 50-50 right now, if you ask me, if Hage ends the season with Montreal, maybe even 60-40 towards him doing that. And I didn't feel that way a few months ago, so that's good. Does Hage remind anyone else of Eichel? I don't think he's not as big and as powerful as Eichel. Ethan McKenzie looked out of place. Well, he had the odd good, the odd good look. He had a few points in this tournament, but do I think he's better than Bryce Pickford? No, I think they made the wrong choice there. But there was a few guys that you could have, that I think Pickford would outplayed in this tournament. But it's hindsight, right? 10 points out of a possible 14 for the Habs. Yes, absolutely. TSN panel after the game gave props to Hage, said he was Johnny loves puppies. Said he was great since game one. Shocked he wasn't named one of Canada's top 3 players. Is NHL ready and should be playing for the Habs by season's end. Yeah, he might be. Still love the Canadian boys. Yeah. It's not really criticizing the kid. It's honest scouting. McKenna has no compete in him. I wouldn't say no compete, but he would have liked him to play a little harder. Don't hate the kid whatsoever, but we need to give an honest assessment. He looked like another Shane Wright. Yeah. Well, it's certainly less certain that McKenna's going first. But I've seen this, I saw it last year at times, and I'm seeing it Penn State at times. His play away from the puck has not been fantastic. He's certainly no Macklin Celebrini, that's for sure. Celebrini was an entire year younger than him when he dominated. Not an entire year, but he was younger, yes. It was both their draft years, so half year anyways. The defensive game wasn't there. Let's get the bronze. I hope so. Friggin' Finns, though. They compete, boy. How did Hage not get one of the top three? Yeah, that's what I was. Just added insult to injury. McKenna needs a bit of muscle. Yeah, that's part of it, too. I can criticize the coaching. There you go. Can't believe Galvis didn't get drafted. Well, I think he gets drafted this time around. Just like Van Hanen, Kuta, and Tuva. They're, I think, three Finns. They're all going to get picked this time around. Van Hanen is really putting up the points in the Western League. I noticed they said Chihash is going to join Polatine in Kelowna. That'll be a nice ad for them. They need some reinforcements for their Memorial Cup run there. But that'll be nice for Papanicus. He might get Chihash on his wing. Or if not, they might put Chihash with Politan and then move Aginla up with Papanicus, which would be nice. Bolduc, Deno, Hage. Yeah. Or, yeah, well, I think he might be, it'll depend on how Doc looks, right? Certainly if they want Doc on the third line, like Bolduc, Deno, Doc, then Hage, you'll get a spin on the top line or the second line. But yeah, keep up the good work, Grant. Thanks, Dan. I was yelling at the TV. Yeah, I know. Tina and I were both. McKenna was open a lot of times and didn't get a pass. Yeah. Hage's puck protection is good. It's really good. Yeah. And I agree, Fort George, and I mentioned it. Martin's injury, he to me, Hage and Martin were the two best players on Canada in this tournament, as far as I'm concerned. Competed at both ends, or all three zones. Were very good offensively. Clicked. I thought that they were Canada's two best players in this tournament up to now. Hage really played with passion. I loved what I saw from him. Yeah. Disappointed, but I'm over it now. Back to my favorite team. Yep. Maybe I should have waited a half hour before. Oh, then it wouldn't have been as entertaining, right? At least Habs community knows Hage will be a major contributor to the team's success. Who cares if white-headed international hockey bums don't think he's top three player? No, I know. Just for his sake, he deserved a little consolation prize. It's not like I get the thing or not. I'm just thinking of him. Where's Jordan Tutu when you need him? Yeah, could have used a tutu. Few of them were playing like they were wearing tutus. We should also realize that the Czechs played very well. I did say that. Danford was at least safe and smart for most of his minutes. I'm curious to see if we'll get some news from Habs injured players. Yeah, that would be good. TSN builds every year is the year for the Jays, Laughs, Juniors. It's a new year. Yeah. Gula coming back might take us to the top in the East. There you go, Pierre. Hage was the play driver on his line. Yep. Brady Martin's injury hurt. Yep. McKenna shouldn't have been named one of the top 3 Canadians after that run off the ice. He wasn't named one of the top 3 players. Canada had the Hage line, Iggy, Perek, that's it. No defense and no other forward lines. I can see why Misa slipped in the draft. And feel bad for the team that drafted Martin. Misa slipped to number 2. That's not really slipping. He wasn't going number 1. He wasn't going ahead of Schaefer. Hage is really developing nicely. Yep. Finn Beast, he was, Savanto. I know. Kid's heavy. Got a heavy game, man. Played in the overtime, too. He's really, I think he's moving up the ranks. There aren't many centers either, right? So I hope the Habs will secure playoffs in advance so he can play this season. He's good, but not Demidov level. Yeah, we'll see. Big regret we didn't see a U.S. versus Canada match. Didn't deserve it. We need to find a winger for Suzuki. But also, this is why, one game, luck can happen in just one game. And it's just like the Olympics. People are saying, oh, it's going to be U.S. and Canada. Don't count out the European teams. Just as in this tournament, it was supposed to be U.S., Canada. Well, U.S. didn't even make the semifinals, and Canada's playing for bronze. So, at best, the 3rd and 5th best teams the tournament. We need to find a winger for Suzuki and Caulfield before the trade deadline. Well, maybe it's Doc, but at least they'll have time to audition him, right? And a left veteran stay-at-home D. I don't know about that. Gooley's going to be healthy, and they've got Matheson and Hudson on the left. That's a pretty good. I think that's a pretty good trio back there. 3 years in a row, the Czechs eliminated them. How is it possible? I think the Czechs are simply better. Yeah, that's simple. It's a simple way of looking at it. I don't think they're better. They're just they're out working. They're playing harder, and that's disappointing. Canada's got to get back to playing a more physical style, a more competitive, get a more competitive group, I think. I don't know. But I guess if you want to look at it, there were some really good players that Seneca, Schaefer, Celebrini, a few guys that obviously if they were playing in this tournament, Canada would be untouchable. So I guess you gotta take that into consideration as well, right? Canada's transition game is horrible. Demon just lobbing the puck in the neutral zone and giving it back to Czech. You got to add more puck control, skating, and passing. Yeah, there seemed to be a disconnect with the defense and forwards for sure. But Habs, when's the next game? I haven't. I'm gonna have a look here. Let's think Habs here for a bit, eh? NHL Sked. Out of town scoreboard. Carolina beat New Jersey. The Blackhawks beat the Knights. Again, with all those superstars that are in the Olympics, you wonder how that could happen. Florida upset Avalanche today. Pittsburgh was down 4-1 to Columbus, came back and won 5-4. Habs won 4-3. Did people know that? That was kind of cool over Dallas. So, there's that. Upcoming games. Wow, Habs actually they don't play for a couple of days. Imagine that, eh? They actually get 2 days off. Calgary's in Montreal. I don't know. Those games scare me sometimes. You think, well, they'll beat Calgary, but back home after a road trip, got to shovel out the driveway, got to do a million chores, all that stuff. Typically, first game back isn't always great, but hopefully they can beat Calgary. Then Florida's in. Florida just beat Colorado, so they could be getting back on track here. That'll be a tough one. But then Detroit, obviously, Detroit at Montreal will be huge on the 10th. And be hoping that the Habs get themselves rolling. Beat, I think they play Detroit twice, do they? Twice in a row, or twice in a short period of time. So that will be that'll be a big test, obviously. Detroit and then Vancouver. Okay, so 4-game homestand coming up here, and hope that they can get 6 points anyways out of that, 5 or 6. Stay at the top. Then they go to Washington, Buffalo, Ottawa, and then Minnesota is in Montreal. Okay, they only play Detroit once. I thought I read somebody posted that they were playing them twice in a row or whatever, but no. Minnesota, Montreal. I want them to beat Minnesota. How long has it been, right? That streak's got to end. They just ended the Carolina friggin' 11 straight games that they had won, beating Montreal and Carolina. So let's see if the Minnesota streak can end too. That would be nice. Let's get down to a few more comments here. Calgary Wednesday, yep. How much do you think size made a difference? Canada looked tiny out there. Well, Czechs have a big team, but I wasn't that. Mertka didn't do a hell of a lot for me, really. Galvis was their best defenseman. I don't think it was even close. But yeah, the Czechs had some big boys. Max Curran has turned into a good player. He's competing a lot more than he did in his draft year. He's looking like he was a good pick. He's figuring some things out there. 7:30 Eastern. Yeah, okay. Well, I will see you folks Wednesday night, I hope. 7:30, eh? Frig. I wish they'd be. I like when the games are over at like 9:40, because then I get a jump on other podcasts. Landeskog and Taves are going to miss quite a bit of time. Yeah, that Landeskog injury, eh? Didn't look very good for him. His knee, I don't know. I hope he's okay. And then Taves. Is Dobson on the short list? I didn't hear, but I think maybe Schaefer is. Schaefer scored another big goal the other night, right? The streak against Boston in Boston earlier this year. Yeah, that's right. Florida, Detroit. Some important divisional matches. I want Lane dominating the Wild. Yes, that would be nice. Habs are getting closer to Dallas and Minnesota. Might wake up second team in the league at some point. I won't say anything about Colorado, though. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, and Ray, thanks for joining us. I really appreciate that. And Kojak or Kajak SB, that's a kind of a new name too. We're getting more and more new contributors here, and again a good group. I love this community. I think this is the best Habs community, and it's neat. It's neat that it's almost like everybody, we're all chatting with each other, right? In this format, it's like it's better than a message board, as it's more immediate. It's almost like texting, but not just one person, like a group, right? Basically. So I really like these live podcasts and the live chat, and people for the most part are pretty civil. Well, they've seen, no nonsense, right? You'll get left in the dust there if you're disrespectful and toxic. You this isn't the place for you, and I think people are realizing that, and that's good, because you just weed them out, right? Couple of questions about the Habs. Who gets a start Wednesday night? Guess that's $1 million question, right? I have a feeling it'll be Fowler, and if he's good, I think Dobie might get sent down to the AHL. I could be wrong on that, but that's just a feeling I have. And if he's not good, they might keep the 3 goalie thing for a little while longer, give Dobish another start, and then if Dobie's good, they might consider sending Fowler down for a bit. But don't forget, they can always bring a guy back up, right? So I think at some point over the next couple of weeks, it'll be probably either Fowler or Dobie will get sent down to how does it work with conditioning stints with goalies too? Like if a goalie goes, I don't know, how long can they go, right? And then they say, well, we're setting him down for a conditioning stint or whatever. But I guess they don't have to do that with goalies that aren't waiver eligible anyways. Just send them down, right? Anyway, I'm a big fan of the chat. Always great. Only time that was too chaotic was the podcast about the Deneau trade. Yeah. Yeah. Here, I remember before the season, you called Cap becoming a second line center. Still not convinced that's most ideal, but he's playing unbelievable. Yeah. I'm amazed so many people are calling for a shutdown D when Gouli is likely a week away. Well, out of sight, out of mind, right? People forget. People forget. Matt Drummer, you are a legend. Thank you, my friend. Thanks for chiming in, and you're in my good books right off the bat there, buddy. That's a good start. Welcome to our Habs community, and I hope that's the first post of many. We've got 102 on here, Recruits HabsCast, that are on here. That's not bad, on YouTube at 12:48 a.m. Eastern Time. When is Gouli back? Good question. Is this Mary Jane? M. Jane? Last Dance with Mary Jane? Lots of people just give up on players because they get too many injuries. Good thing Crosby wasn't playing in Montreal when he got his concussions, or they'd have asked to trade him. Well, once upon a time, Francois, and Liam always tells this story, that they wanted to get rid of Maurice the Rocket Richard. He was too fragile when he first came up with the Habs. He had a few injuries, and trade him, get rid of him. Imagine if they had, eh? May not have had this spectacular run of cups. And Mr. Asham, Aaron's cousin or whatever, come on, people, hit the likes. Absolutely, please do that. We got 100 people on here. I want 100 likes. What is often missed in the 3 goalie rotation combos that it's a very condensed schedule. Yeah, that's a good point. But Doby and Fowler need to play. They're still young goalies, and hopefully, well, we'll see here, but Monty's going to be getting starts now. You just know it, because his last 2 have been okay. And, I think Fowler is ahead of Dobish at the moment, so might be a while before Doby gets to play again. And if that's the case, then I'd rather him get sent down. Get him working with Marco too. That guy's a really good goalie coach. That wouldn't be a bad thing. Anyway, okay, well, folks, I think things are quietening down here, unless I get a couple of more quick responses. We're caught right up here. Went over the game pretty well. Thanks for the Donnie. Thanks for the $20 donation, Sheldon, as usual. Francois, Fort George, you guys have been really supportive, and I truly appreciate it. Big difference between Sid and Gooley and Doc, though. Yeah. Cash fan. Hey, Grant, what do you think of Canada's goaltending? I'm late to the show. Yeah. You always, when I'm getting ready to go, I can always rely on you, Cash fan, getting a question in there. um, uh, uh, I was more, I didn't mind Ivan Kovic tonight, really. I think it was more the defense, and it has been the defense. I mean, I wasn't crazy about George, but Ivan Kovic, I'm not blaming him too much. That's for sure. Fowler versus Wolf on Wednesday. Yeah, probably. Frogger, that wasn't ridiculous, and you don't have to say that's ridiculous. Just tone her down a bit. Anyway, on that note, before we start getting things start getting a little heated, I'm gonna bid you all good night at 12:53 a.m. Thanks for tuning in, and hope to see you folks Wednesday night for sure. I'll be doing a podcast, though. I'm always doing something every day. I'll come up with some subject tomorrow. Maybe I'll get a couple of videos out. I'll do something after the bronze medal game and the gold medal game, obviously. So I'll do another Canada World Junior podcast tomorrow. And I hope to see you then. So thanks, everyone, and appreciate you tuning in, as always. Go Habs, go. And we'll talk to you soon.